So hey guys, I am coming to you again today. My name is Nanye Akuba, and I am the author of The 747 Connection, Called to a Higher Altitude. It is a book that the Lord called me to write. And in that book, one of the subjects that I touch on is how you know that, or let me say this differently, guideposts or signs that you should pay close attention to because they let you know you have been called for a time such as this, or you have been called to be a mouthpiece for God, or you have been called to the prophetic office. So there are 11 guideposts, and I'm going to go through those really quickly. So number one is a hidden identity. That hidden identity, it may be you have an unknown parent, maybe an unknown, you didn't know who your mother was. It's kind of hush. You were raised by a different relative and it wasn't revealed to you till later on. Or you didn't know who your father was, possibly. Might be hidden family ties. You may be adopted, some kind of secret lineage. That can be one of the signs. Another sign is that you are always the outsider for whatever reason, especially in circles that are excessively worldly. So they might be very concerned with the superficial, or very concerned with greed and the pursuit of money, or very concerned with like looks and status and who you know. You are always kind of an outsider in those situations and in those environments. You don't totally fit in. That's another sign. Another sign number 3, that was 2. Sign number 3 is a hyper shifting career. Like people look at you like, why? Like, what is she doing now? What is he doing now? Like, what? I thought they were going to be I thought they were studying. That is another sign. Number 4 is you've been marked. That means that you have unusually strange or an unusual amount of incidents, and events where your life was in danger, like you, like life-threatening attacks that other people around you haven't gone through, and they certainly haven't escaped, or situations where there was like impending death and you were kind of miraculously saved. That's another sign. Another sign, or sign number 5, demonic hijacking, meaning that, you know, there's a lot of times where you get these opportunities, right? And the opportunities, they come to others like at the drop of a hat, no issue. But yours, like as soon as you get to the finish line, the opportunity disappears. It's like the finish line is right there and then poof, it's gone. And you know that it's not regular. It's something very strange and different about it that is, or may be, contributing to demonic hijacking at work in your life, to hijack your purpose and make you lose faith, right? In the Lord and in your path. Another, or number 6, is you've discarded previous clues and hints. Those previous clues and hints could come from your own dreams and visions, or they can come from chance encounters with people. They can come from books you've read, and you know, things that where your spirit is like nudging you, like, hey, this is important, this is you, and you're like, oh, please. Or you meet somebody, you know, in passing, and they speak something, you know, over your life that you can't even imagine for yourself, but it's stating in some kind of way that God has called you, and you're like, nah, no thanks. So that is a sign, and it usually has happened more than once, right? It's a discarded clue, a discarded hint. 7, I got it this time, guys. I'm on numbers. 7, you might have a prophetic heritage. You might have a family member that was a prophet, or a pastor or a messenger or even a seer, right? So that is something to pay close attention to, and it would be someone very close to you. It could be a parent, it could be a favorite aunt, it could be a grandparent, but this prophetic heritage would be something that you've heard of, something that you've known in your family, and it would make sense that it has come back around, or the gift has come back around, even if it's come back around in a different generation. Number 8, long wilderness season. So you have like an experience of an unusual wilderness season, unusual struggle, unusual hardship that doesn't make much sense, right? When you look around to people around you, it's like, why am I the only one experiencing this to this degree, right? We all have our trials, we all have tribulations, we all have our crosses to bear. But in this situation, it's different. And even the people around you would attest to it being very different and very extreme, right? That's 8. Number 9, spiritual warfare. An excessive amount of spiritual warfare, an excessive amount of whether it's demonic hijacking, and then you would have like weird revelations that you're under witchcraft attack. Things will be revealed to you that let you know that you are the target of attacks from the kingdom of darkness, or attacks from people that are dabbling and playing in the dark arts, praying against you, paying people to, hex you and vex you and monitor you and look into your life and into your destiny. May sound crazy. People are out there. People are doing it, unfortunately. But you would have that experience, spiritual warfare, revelations of spiritual warfare, that there are people tinkering, or trying to tinker with your destiny, or trying to harm you in some way, not overtly, not directly, but indirectly and through, spiritual channels. Number 10, Joseph's blunder. Which means that you may have, stated to, people that you thought were friends, like, that there's some kind of calling on your life, it's something on your life, and not everybody is always receptive to that. It could be, they may be envious about it, they may be jealous about it, or they may plain just think that you are foolish and crazy and mock you and jeer you. But I call it the Joseph blunder, when Joseph, blurted out his vision and it didn't go very well for him. And it usually doesn't go very well for those of us that blurt that out before the appointed time. So that might be a sign if that's something you've experienced. 11 is a worldly forfeiture. And so worldly forfeiture would mean that you have forfeited something in some way to align yourself with Jesus, to align yourself with your belief in Yeshua HaMashiach. It could be a relationship. It could be a clique of friends that you've kind of walked away from. It could be an organization. It could be a company. It could be a career. It's some kind of worldly forfeiture that you've walked away from because either the Holy Spirit has directly said no, here and no further, turn back, this is not for you, or because you just had an inner feeling and a nudging that you can't continue with this group, people, job, person, whatever it is. And I think that was the last. Yes, that's the last one. So if you want to know more information, if you need those 11 guideposts and signs to be elaborated on, I will be releasing more information on this channel, and you can always pick up the book It is available at Amazon.com. And again, the book is entitled The 747 Connection, Call to a Higher Altitude. And no, you don't need to have experienced all 11 signs and guideposts to know that you have been called, or to know that you've been called for a time such as this, or called to the office of a prophet, or just called to be a mouthpiece of God. It doesn't have to be every single one, right? But it is, again, it is a guidepost to let you know if you have experienced some of these things and you are still looking for your career and your path, and you're still not understanding that this could be some of the reason why. So thank you for spending time and listening. Have a great evening. May God bless you. And my prayer is that if indeed you are searching, that you do find your path and your calling. May God bless you. Bye-bye.